this isn't the cheeriest video in the world, but I thought it was appropriate. Why not? 2020's been a bit shit, let's be honest. And I thought, why not make a video with a list of Scots words that describe 2020 perfectly. So here are a bunch of Scots words that describe 2020. The first one's scunnered. Scunnered, alright. I've definitely mentioned scunnered in a video before. I can't remember which one, but it's been used before, but it's such a perfect word to describe how a lot of people will be feeling in 2020. It means you're tired of certain things, you're discontented, you're fed up. If you're scunnered, you're just done. You've had enough. And I think quite a lot of us are scunnered with 2020. It can also mean a strong dislike, which again goes well with 2020. Scunnered, I wouldn't normally use scunnered that much. I do now and again, and I still hear it quite a lot, but I don't personally use it that much. But I do like it. I might start using it more because I am pretty scunnered. The next word is mince, and I know this isn't generally a Scottish word, but the context I would use it in would be my head's mince, which means my head is mince. My head is minced. My brain is minced. I use it quite a lot. It means my head's fried. If your head's minced, your head's fried. It's full of nonsense. It's confused. I think all our heads are mince right now. 2020's mince. To describe 2020 as mince would describe it as just rubbish. If something's mince, it's rubbish. But if your head's mince, it can just mean it's like, you know. I'm not describing this very well. You just know when you're using it that it's right. Someone can also be talking mince. And a lot of people have been talking mince this year. God, I deleted Facebook because of how much mince folk were talking. Yeah, it just means they're talking rubbish. They're talking mince. 2020 has made a lot of people a bit crabbit. Me in particular, I've definitely been crabbit in 2020. And when I think of the word crabbit, I've definitely used this in videos before. If you don't know, when I think of someone who's crabbit, I think of a grumpy older man. Because my grandpa was extremely crabbit. But if you're crabbit, you're grumpy, you're snappy. And I think 2020 has made a lot of us crabbit. It's a perfect word. And I still use crabbit quite a lot, especially if I'm on, like, if I'm PMSing or something, I'll be like, oh, I'm feeling a bit crabbit today. Another perfect word to describe 2020 would be Baws. It's been absolute Baws. Sorry, this video is so negative. I'll come out with something positive. Maybe I could do like nicer words next week, I don't know. But Baws. Baws is balls. We use the word Baws in a lot of different contexts. But in this context, Baws just means crap. If something's Baws, it's rubbish. It's just utter balls. Or what a load of Baws, what a load of rubbish, what a load of mince. See, it all ties in. It all ties in together. Gubbed. This is another one that I've used in videos. I use it probably every day of my life. Gubbed is such a great word. Gubbed has a few meanings. I would say that I'm gubbed when I'm really tired, or if I'm completely out of it. I would say, like, I've had a long day, I'm absolutely gubbed. You know, you're just tired, you're just done in completely. If something's not working or it's broken, like if my camera broke, I would say my camera's gubbed. Although it can also mean like beaten or thrashed, as in like a football team or a person or something like in a game. 2020 has no rules. You use gubbed in whatever context you like. Right, we're going to move on to some ones that I don't use, that I actually found online that I'd never heard before. The first one is Ramfeezled. Amazing. If you're Ramfeezled, you're exhausted from work, you're fatigued, you're over fatigued, you're overcome with fatigue. If you're Ramfeezled. The earliest use of this word was in Robert Burns's work, and I just think it's great. I'm going to start using Ramfeezled. I probably won't, but let's bring it back. Ramfeezled. 2020's left a lot of us feeling Ramfeezled. Next one is Stramash, which is the name of a Scottish band as well. The drummer in Stramash used to teach me drums. But Stramash is like an uproar. A Stramash is chaos, a disturbance. 2020 has definitely been a bit of a Stramash. Another word, bolt. Bolt is something that I wish 2020 would do. I don't like to wish time away, but I wish 2020 would bolt. If you want something to bolt, you want it to go away and get lost. In context, it would be bolt or bolt your rocket. If you would say to somebody if they're annoying you, oh, bolt. It's a very straight to the point word. I love that I went in context, it would just be bolt. Like that gives anything away. The next word is one that I used in Scottish words that I learned from work in that video, and I learned this from a wee lady that I used to visit who used to always say, oh, I'm feeling a bit wabbit today, and wabbit just means you're tired, you're run down, you're exhausted, you're feeling unwell, you're under the weather, you're just a bit wabbit. And it's just perfect. It's a perfect word to describe how a lot of us again are feeling in 2020. We're all a bit rabbit. Try that again. We're all a bit wabbit. Next word, Bowfin. 2020 is absolutely Bowfin. It's not, this doesn't work as well as I thought it would, but Bowfin just means disgusting, smelly, dirty, horrible, unpleasant. And 2020 is all of the above, so I think that's fine, that word's fine for this. Dreich. Dreich. Dreich is more related to the weather, right? But I think it's a great way to describe 2020. I mean, I guess you could refer to 2020 as Dreich, even though it does more so relate to the weather. I would only hear Dreich in the context of weather, and it means dreary, bleak, dull, gloomy, just bad weather. If the weather's bad, which it usually is in Scotland, let's be honest, then it's Dreich. And Scottish weather is always Dreich, really. Another one that I've got written down here that I'm a bit confused by, which kind of fits in with this, is Dinnae ken, and that just means I don't know. Loads of Dinnae ken what is going on in 2020. In the area that I live in Western Bartonshire, or just in Western Bartonshire, we don't really use Dinnae ken, but other places in Scotland use it regularly. It just depends on where you live, but here where I live we don't say Dinnae ken. We don't say ken to mean to know. Ken's just like the male version of a Barbie doll, but elsewhere in Scotland ken means no. So you dinnae ken, you don't know. And I dinnae ken what the hell's happening in 2020. I'm having a breakdown right now, oh my god. Hot flush. This is a good one, right? Hee-haw. Hee-haw, I do hear this quite often. Not like the donkey noise, but if you've done hee-haw, you've done f-all, f-aw, hee-haw, you've done nothing. And yeah, I've heard it comes from the Glasgow Lyman slang of f-aw, like f-aw. I've done f-aw, I've done hee-haw. And 2020 I guess has just been a big load of hee-haw, absolutely nothing. Jobby. Jobby is one that I've mentioned in a lot of videos, and it just means poop. Poo. 2020 has been pure jobby. Pure jobbies. It's full of jobbies. Jobbies and mince. Minced jobbies. I'm sorry, I'm gonna move on. And in the same note, keech. Keech also means poo, related to bird poo, but keech is still poo. Toalie is another word for poo and jobby. They all mean the same thing really, except keech is more bird poo related. But 2020 has been toalies, jobbies and keech all together. You could describe 2020 as keech actually. You can say things are keech. Yeah. This is one that I didn't know that I learned recently, and I like it. It's very apt. Glumph. And a glumph is a sulky person, a moody person, and Glumphie means moody or grumpy. How cool is that? I don't know why I didn't know that one. I've never heard that before. I don't know if people say it in other areas, but I've never heard that around this area. Glumphie, glumph. And in the same note, Grumphy. And somebody that's grumpy is moody and complains a lot. I love it. Glunch. It's spelled like glunch, but it's an SH pronunciation, so glunch. And to glunch is to frown, look bad-tempered or depressed. And again, a very fitting word for 2020 unfortunately. Loupin. I use this word sometimes and I do hear it now and again, and if I say like my head's loupin, that means it's throbbing, it's really sore. My head's loupin, my head's loupin, my head's sore, my head's throbbing, and my head's been louping a lot with 2020 I must say. This one is another one I've not heard, and it's hurry buddy. A hurry buddy is a carry on, a fuss, a riot. There's a lot going on. There's a hurry buddy, and hurly burly is similar. Hurly burly. It's like cuddly wuddly. Hurly burly is similar. That means chaotic, noisy, and I feel like hurly burly is said elsewhere in the UK, but hurry buddy is Scottish apparently. Who knew? Kauch, not what you're thinking. Get your mind out the gutter. Kauch, and no, it's not the Scottish way to say willy. Kauch is a care or a worry or an anxiety. Again, very fitting. And again, I didn't know this word. I've never heard this before, so I found that quite interesting. And it said online, to be in a kauch is to be in an extreme flutter, not knowing which way to turn, over head and ears in business. And again, that goes well with this, whatever this hurry buddy that's going on the night, for sure. Jesus. Another one that I didn't know, a knardy knotty. I love it, absolutely love it. And that is a tough, resilient person, and I feel like a lot of us have turned into knardy knotties. Jesus, that sounds really strange. Let's bring these words back, seriously. To greet. Greet is another word I use all the time. I've used it in loads of videos. To greet is to cry, and I feel like we've all done a lot of greeting this year. If you've not, wow, you're definitely a knardy knotty. Oh my god, the moon looks amazing. Oh, I need to show you that moon in a minute. Let's get through this and then I'll show you the moon, because holy crap, that took me aback. It's absolutely huge. That's what she said. Slorp and greet. Slorp and greet. On a similar note, I've never heard this, I've just heard greet. But to slorp and greet, that means wailing noisily, you're sobbing. Never heard it. Mang, another one I've not heard. Mang, it's to be bewildered, become perplexed. And again, one that I feel like 2020's done this to us a lot. I'm not sure how to say it in context, how to say it in a sentence, but mang apparently means to become perplexed. And I think you would be manging or manged, I'm not sure, but I quite like that one. This one is amazing. This is another amazing one, right? Heeliegoleerie. How good is that? That means a state of confusion. A heeliegoleerie. You're in a state of confusion. How good is that word? Why have I never heard this before? That moon. Just wait. Puggelt. Again, another one that I don't know, that I don't hear regularly ever. And I feel like this is one that we should all be using. Puggelt. It means exhausted, done, at a standstill. I was Puggelt. We're all Puggelt. Like, sorry, I'm getting really passionate about this, but how good is that? How good are these words? Good find, Erin. Get done. Beeling. Beeling's one that I've heard fairly often and I have used myself. If you're beeling, you're really angry. Like, you're really, really angry. Oh, I was absolutely beeling. Just, you're fuming. You're fuming. You're not just in a heeliegoleerie, but you're beeling. So I'm turning into like a wee old woman right now. Like, talking no Scottish. I need to get a photo of that moon. Another one that I didn't know, wan weird. Wan weird is an unhappy fate, unfortunate. It's not, I don't think it's actually used these days, but it's like an older word, wan weird. But I quite liked it and I thought that is another good word to describe 2020. If you're wan weirded, you're an unfortunate person. You just have an unfortunate life, you're wan weirded. Again, 2020, I feel like a lot of us don't have a Scooby. What's going on? And that's the next phrase, to not have a Scooby. You don't have a Scooby. It's kind of like rhyming slang. You don't have a Scooby-Doo, which means you don't have a clue. You don't have a clue, you don't have a Scooby-Doo, and it's shortened to you don't have a Scooby. And I hear that quite a lot as well. I've not got a Scooby. Whitey. 2020's definitely made me want to Whitey. To Whitey's to throw up. I hear this all the time. And it's normally used in relation to alcohol. Like if someone was too Whitey, they would normally be thrown up from alcohol, but I mean, Whitey is just to throw up. We've all Whitey'd, but 2020's definitely made me want to Whitey. It's been a big old Whitey in itself. Gunk. And no, not gunk as in like stuff that comes out of things, but gunk as in a bitter disappointment. Again, another great word to describe 2020, a bitter disappointment. Gunk. And here's a phrase, right? This is a slightly older phrase. Slightly. Just slightly. It's a sair fecht. A sair fecht is translated to it's a sore fight, but it's usually said to mean it's a hard life. Ugh, it's a sair fecht. It's a hard life. And people normally say this if they're fed up, if they're down in the dumps. I actually never hear this, but I vote to bring it back. It's a sair fecht. I like it. And you're fair done in. I hear this quite a lot as well, and I say this quite a lot. This is the last one. It means you're exhausted, and I would say that I'm done in fairly often. I do use this regularly. Fair done in. But yeah, if you're done in, you're done in. You're exhausted. And that is the last one. A lot of these I knew, and a lot of these I didn't know. And when I was looking through the Scots dictionary, I was like, oh, I kept, and I could have included more, but I just didn't want to put in too much. But I think this is just enough. So if you've got any good Scots words that you know that you think would describe 2020 quite well, then leave them in the comments below. And I feel like I need to do a bit more of a positive video next week, so let me know what I should do next week, because yeah, this was quite a gloomy, what's the word for gloomy again? I've been a bit of a glumphy in this video, or a grumphie, but anyway, yeah, so if you enjoyed this, give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed, again, please subscribe. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you later. Bye! Okay, you can't see it very well, but I promise you it looks good. It's not focusing.